East Longmeadow Police are looking for your help in finding a suspect accused of passing bogus checks around town and throughout the Springfield area. More bitter cold temperatures are settling in, and so too are home heating costs. Just ahead, a look at a local oil company and how it serves town residents. Those stories and Spartan Sports just ahead on ELCAT News Week in Review. Good evening, I'm Alexi Cohan. We begin tonight with a call for help from the East Longmeadow Police Department. Police are looking for a woman suspected of passing bad traveler's checks at 10 area Super Stop and Shop stores, including the one in East Longmeadow.
The police department received a call from Stop and Shop Security recently, and we went down to investigate. What we learned was that a $100 traveler's check was cashed at the East Longmeadow Stop and Shop. Now, traveler's checks are treated almost like cash, but the people have to sign it. They're not really asked for ID, and like I say, it's treated like money, and it goes into the deposit for the bank, and the people at the store don't really know at the time whether they've taken a bogus check or not.
Sergeant Manley says police think the woman in question may be part of an out-of-state crime ring that they believe started back in November.
Now, we believe this is people who came from outside the area. One of the reasons we believe is it was just a one-day thing. One day, bang, 10 stores and gone. They haven't resurfaced at the Big Y yet. They haven't resurfaced at CVS. They may at some time in the future, as long as their check scam keeps working for them.
Anyone with information is asked to contact the East Longmeadow Police at 413-525-5440. A busy week for the ELPD. Police arrested a 51-year-old Springfield resident Sunday morning after he reportedly stole a newspaper from a delivery man, then threatened him with a knife. Once again, we talked to Sergeant Pat Manley. He says the incident happened just after 8 a.m. Sunday, February 1st, in the area of 600 Main Street.
The delivery guy, when the guy at the store only gets 9 papers instead of 10, he'll call and say to the newspaper, I only got 9 today instead of 10. So the delivery guy will get deducted for that. It costs him money when somebody takes a paper. He made a drop off of a bundle, and as he was leaving, he noticed somebody take a paper and walk off with it. He approached the guy and said, hey, geez, put the paper back. That comes out of my pay. That ain't right. Put the paper back. And the guy ignored him, told him to get lost. He persisted. He followed him in his car with the window down, and he's, hey, buddy, come on, put the paper back. And the guy pulled out a knife. He pulled out the knife, and he told him, look, I'll use this on you, or I'll use it on your tires. Leave me alone. And then he took off, and of course the delivery guy wasn't going to fool around with him. He put his car in reverse and backed up and tried to keep an eye on him. So the officers were able to detain the guy once they found the knife and confirmed the story of the delivery guy, that in fact he did have a knife and he threatened him with it.
Stephen Mark Baker of Springfield is charged with assault with a dangerous weapon. He is also charged with drug possession. The latest cold snap is also putting a chill on home heating costs. New figures show fuel costs are up this winter. Residential heating oil prices in Massachusetts have increased nearly 25 cents per gallon, or about 6%, since the end of October. Residential propane prices in the state have gone up 45 cents per gallon, or 15% during the same time. Here at Donovan Oil in East Longmeadow, trucks are heading in and out all day, keeping up with demand, which is high, thanks to a cold winter.
It's been a cold winter this year, and people are having a hard time heating their homes because it is so expensive. Oil, the price of it is really high right now, and it keeps going up. Nobody knows when it will stop. Hopefully it'll go down, but the stock market has a big impact on how the price of oil fluctuates. And it's not regulated, and it actually became deregulated in the year 2000, which has drastically changed the price of oil.
The state average for a gallon of heating oil this week is just over $4. That's up 8 cents from this time last year.
Hopefully it'll go down, but nobody knows. It's good to just know how much your house is using for oil, and that way you can financially budget the amount of money that you're going to need for the heating season, because it's important to do that.
Donovan Oil says the best advice to keep costs down is really just common sense.
I recommend, first and foremost, insulation in your house has a big impact on how much oil you'll go through. And second, I would say to maintain your boiler each year, because boilers that haven't been cleaned don't burn oil as efficiently. And it's important to do that. And your windows make a big impact on how much oil you go through.
Donovan Oil offers budget plans, emergency services, and can help coordinate fuel assistance. In fact, the state has just released $18 million in federal heating assistance for low-income Massachusetts residents. It's part of the federal Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. On to the campaign trail. East Long Meadow Selectman Deborah Boronsky has officially announced that she will run for a spot on the state Senate. Boronsky made the announcement in front of Town Hall last weekend with supporters by her side. Boronsky is running to represent the 1st Hampden and Hampshire district. It's a seat being vacated by Senator Gail Candaris.
As a selectman, I know the necessity and struggle of making our voices heard against Boston's interests. I founded the Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce so I could advocate for small businesses. I advocate for small businesses both here and statewide. And I want to do the same for the residents of Western Mass. I advocate so that our voices can be heard, and I can do that in Boston. For the past 7 years, I have successfully advocated for small businesses, and I'm ready to take my skills and experience to Boston to represent the citizens of Western Mass. I know how to fight for Western Mass, and I want to do it successfully on the floor of the Massachusetts State Senate.
Candaris is leaving the state Senate looking to become the next register of the Hampden County Probate and Family Court. The deadline has come and gone for submitting election papers before the next town election. One spot is open on the board, which is a 3-year position. Former Selectmen Pete Punderson and William Gorham are the only 2 candidates to submit for the vacancy left by outgoing member Deborah Boronsky. The following offices are not contested. Board of Assessors, a 3-year term. Board of Public Works, 3 years. 2 Planning Board members, 1 term for 1 year, the other spot is for a 5-year term. 2 School Committee member positions at 3-year terms. 2 spots on the Board of Library Trustees, a 3-year commitment, and finally, the Housing Authority, which is also a 5-year term. A local business gets a big boost from the Massachusetts legislature. State Senator Brian Ash recently paid a visit to Pete's Sweets and recognized owner Peter Gray for his achievements. By now, East Long Meadow residents are acquainted with Pete and have tasted his sweets. Peter Gray, that is, of Pete's Sweets on Shaker Road. Gray has been in business for a year now and has just been presented with a House citation from State Representative Brian Ash.
So Brian Ash came to my store a couple weeks ago when it was my grand anniversary, which is on December 15th. It's my 1-year anniversary, and it was kind of a grand reopening because I'm doing the store Pete Sweets kind of by myself now. Before it was kind of Pete Sweets and Gelato Buono, but now it's all Pete Sweets.
Gray has had a great first year with his bakery.
We've had a successful, year-long, actually open every single, week. It's been kind of fun. It's been great. It's been very busy. The holidays roll around again this year, and it's been very, very busy. We've had, great time changing things up, finding what works, what doesn't work, and we're adding all sorts of new things.
More cupcakes, pies, cakes, and even cinnamon rolls have been added to the menu. Of course, with growth and change, Gray has experiences of challenges as well as achievements.
The main challenge has been trying to cope with the small amount of space by making something so large, and around the holidays it gets very full in here very fast, so I think that space is needed, but it's become a really big challenge for us, but we're heading there.
Gray is looking forward to his next year in business with new goals in mind.
Like I said, to do things like cooking classes, courses. We're trying to do more, more cakes by order, like specialty ones, as well as doing more home-style desserts, because there's a lot of Italian bakeries in the area, and you can't get certain things like buttercream frostings, and I feel like I want to offer that kind of stuff, home-style things like whoopie pies and cinnamon rolls and traditional cookies and all sorts of stuff, just as a, like I said, a hometown American classic New England bakery.
Furthermore, the addition of gelato to his bakery may make an appearance during the summer.
Say like our Facebook page to get all of our updates. I know everybody who does have them enjoy them, seeing all the cupcakes, unfortunately tantalizing them at work, but you do get the updates all the time and see what we have, because there's a constant change every day in what we're making.
In Spartan Sports, it's good news, bad news for varsity hockey. First, the good news. We go to Olympia Arena as the Spartans take on West Springfield. East Long Meadow's Ryan Gasparini gets his first hat trick on his 18th birthday to lead the Spartans to win over Westside. Jack McIntyre, Joe Saraceno, and Ben Waski also scored for the Spartans as they took the win 8-4. Now on to the bad news. Back we go to Olympia, where this time the Spartans faced rival Minnechaug on February 1st. It was a close matchup with a hat trick for Joe Santinello and, again, single for Ben Waski. However, the Spartans couldn't hang on. In the end, they lose to Chaug in a close 5-4 at the buzzer, a heartbreaking loss for the Spartans. In wrestling, the Spartans took on Central January 29th. Ben Podmore in the 126-pound weight class and Giacomo Cabrera in the 145 class were bright spots for East Long Meadow, both coming out with a win. However, in a dominating performance, Central took the match 54-9. The Spartans are now 8-5 in the season. Now on to basketball. First, the boys take the court against Minnechaug on January 31st, pulling off a decisive win. Tom Cronin and Matt Domenico were courtside and have the wrap-up.
We're here at East Long Meadow Gymnasium with a final score of 69-43. The Spartans just beat the Falcons. Tom, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, East Long Meadow was on a 3-game losing streak. They had to stop it. They did it tonight. Ricky Dixon doing an excellent job on the offensive side. East Long Meadow also creating 20-plus turnovers against the Falcons on the defensive side. So overall, a great night for Coach Ochoa and his squad. Yeah, absolutely. This is a much-needed win. Now the Spartans head into the last half of the season here. They need to pick up a couple more wins as they head towards the playoffs. Right. They can only lose 2 games going down the stretch, so they basically just win out. Just win out and be safe. But they do have some tough games coming up. They do have, I believe, Westside on the road next week, so that should be an interesting game going forward.
AJ, your team came into tonight on a losing streak, 3 games in a row after that big game against Westside on the road. Can you talk about the mindset coming into this ball game tonight against, not a good team, Minnechaug, but definitely a rival?
We know we had to play good. We need to play together. Everybody has to contribute, and we're not really close to playoff contention, and we got to win a lot of our games. So we just came in the mindset we got to win the easy ones and then fight hard for the hard ones.
Now on to girls hoop action as the Spartans face Agawam. Again, Matt and Tom called the game and have this courtside look after the buzzer.
All right, guys, thank you very much. East Long Meadow wins this game at 46-44 over the Brownies. Can you elaborate on how big this was for East Long Meadow?
Yeah, certainly a big win for the Spartans, especially now with 5 games left in the season. They need to make a playoff run here. They are currently 7-8 on the season, and now 3 more wins is all they need to make the playoffs. Definitely a good performance from the Spartans, but not their best. It was a slow start, and they really didn't get going until the 4th quarter, and it was just enough for the victory for the Spartans as Meg Lindsay put in a bucket with 3 seconds to go to win the game for the Spartans.
And if you're just joining us, if you don't know, Olivia Bonavita, the star sophomore for the Spartans, got hurt in their last game against Westfield. East Long Meadow did, you could say, a good job with what they had tonight with all the injuries against the poor Agawam team, to say the least.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely Kelly O'Shea stepping in for Olivia Bonavita tonight, as we were talking about earlier in the game. And Ashley Horgan as well, had a lot of playing time.
All right, East Long Meadow's next game is home against Long Meadow. What are you looking for in that game? As East Long Meadow has 3 straight home games, including tonight, and then 3 straight away games.
Yeah, again, I think that's a must-win too, because then when you look at 3 away games at the end of the season, those are definitely the tougher games. You want to win these home games now, as you want 3 more wins to make the playoffs. The home games are very important.
All right, for Matt and Domenico, I'm Tom Cronin. Back to you, Lexi.
Thanks, Matt and Tom. That'll wrap up Spartan Sports until next time. That'll also do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching ELCAT News Week in Review. I'm Alexi Cohan. Good night.